Okay. Oh, can you turn off the cable box?
Sure.
If it's okay, everybody. Sorry. We're going through a lot of technical issues. It turns out maybe Facebook was the best option we have. I'm going to try to go to the comments and see if we have hello. I'm going to write hello and see what's going on. I'm not sure. Is it choppy for you, the video quality, or is it okay?
No, the video quality is nice.
All right. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining. We already had. We already have had an issue tonight. So, but we do have a new setup here at YouTube. We're gonna try to do this and see how it goes, and see what's going on. So, hello, DJ Shark will be back. I promise. We did have an official intro with DJ Shark. We just some stuff happened. Who knows? It's crazy. We live in a crazy world. So it is what it is. And what can you do? We're gonna go. The show must go on. So we're gonna do it. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody is safe. Drop what you're drinking in the comments if you can. Drop your beers. Drop your say what you're boozing on. I hope everybody is safe, happy, and healthy. And let me know. Let's start chatting. The reason we went to YouTube was we can do some really cool things. We hopefully can be a better quality stream. And then, it's just neat. We can do, whoa, look at this. I'm getting bigger. Holy smokes. Oh, my goodness. Getting smaller. So it's just neat. Look at, now I'm near this keg of beer. Hello, I'm by the keg. I'm going to drink this whole thing. I'm going to drink this one now. Now I'm going to drink this one. Now I'm going to drink this one. Technology. It's wild. So, we can just say, hopefully we'll be experimenting and getting better and better at this. Obviously, we've got some work to do. So we'll be doing that. But again, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm at my brewery. We have this. This is in our guest bedroom. We've built a whole brewery operation, and it's lovely. It's just great. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure this is New Belgium. What can you do? New Belgium's an awesome brewery. But it's good stuff. So I hope everybody's doing well, safe. I'm going to see if anybody can get on the comments, if the comments are going on, and we'll go from there. Oh, we got 8 viewers.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Epod, what are you drinking? I'm going to type in. I can do this right in the comments here, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, people can hop on and see what's going on. My babe and I, it's Derby Day, so we did have a mint julep to start the day today, and it was delicious. I don't know if you're a mint julep. We also went outside, socially isolating, of course, and did a drive-by birthday. Happy birthday to Stella. It's our niece. She's 7. And I hope everybody was able to, at least in the Chicago area or Midwest where it was nice, it was almost 80 degrees here today, get some sun. You can see that I actually got some. And I haven't had some for about 6 months. So there you go. So good stuff. We're going to get started by drinking beer. I've got a couple new things I want to talk about tonight. One is we're going to do, instead of just having one tasting, we're going to do some beer wars. We're going to do some cool stuff there. I want to talk about beer, judging beer tonight. If we're able to do so. So first of all, if you have your beers, go ahead and crack them open. I have 2 beers tonight. We're going to face them off in this epic beer battle. So first of all, I've got Dovetail Hefeweizen. I figured a nice hot day would be perfect for this. And I'm going to pour it in my Hefeweizen glass. So we're not messing around tonight. All right. Oh, yeah. It's not the best pour, but that's why you have the lovely glass. You get a lot of that. You're able to hold a lot of that head there. And I tell you what, Dovetail is one of my favorite breweries in Chicago. They are fantastic, as you guys probably know. Look at that beautiful color in that beer. You're going to see that it's just got this wonderful, wonderful color and background. It's just so delicious, and it looks, on a hot summer day, is there anything better than a nice Hefeweizen? A lot of people add lemon to it. If you go to Germany, they'll do so. I actually like lemon in my beer. A lot of beer snobs are like, don't add fruit to my beer. And I think it doesn't matter. If you don't like fruit, don't add fruit. If you like fruit, add fruit. Here's why I add fruit to beer. Scurvy. I don't want it. I don't want to go anywhere near scurvy. If you read about scurvy, you bleed out from your gums, your teeth fall out, and then you just bleed to death out of your orifices. It seems terrible. So I like to eat a lot of citrus because no thank you. Kind of a funny thing, scurvy was really a modern disease affliction caught by sailors out on the high seas. We're talking the age of sail, when you're out for months and months and months and months and months. So they all of a sudden had this scurvy. It had never existed in human history, so nobody knew what it was. And everybody thought it was something weird, like bad air, something in the sea, right? Like something mystical or whatever. It turns out it's just a lack of vitamin C. And when you're out there, you're eating a lot of stored stuff, like canned stuff or whatnot. And so that doesn't have vitamin C. Turns out when you eat a regular diet, it's impossible pretty much to get scurvy. But when you're out there, it's entirely possible. And of course, the Europeans would go and they would travel by the Arab traders. The Arabs would try to trade them limes and lemons and citrus because the Arabs knew what was going on. They knew it was up. And the Europeans would be like, get out of here. We don't trust you guys. Turns out they would have saved their lives. Should have trusted them. Instead, they would go out and they would be like, oh my God, scurvy. Jeez. So the Germans, sauerkraut. Turns out sauerkraut has a lot of vitamin C. They started taking sauerkraut with them out to sea. And then, of course, the British, we started calling them limeys, right? They finally understood citrus and that it would save you from this. This is not I don't know how I got sidetracked on this. This was not in the script tonight, but we're just going to kind of go with it, But the funniest thing about scurvy is, the thing that cracks me up is, every year there's some poor college kid who, because of a poor diet in the dorms, he decides, I'm floating now, sorry, I'm adjusting my picture. New time, it's like, whoa! So, but every now and then a college kid, just because if you ate pizza, you'd be fine. Tomato sauce, vitamin C, you're good to go. But a college kid would just go and something would screw up. He would maybe eat ramen. It's always a guy, let's be honest. And it's like a college kid gets scurvy. You would have to eat nothing but ramen for 2 months, which could happen, knowing people that I went to college with. So it's a possibility. So anyway, little scurvy lesson for you. Anyway, this beautiful, I talked so much I lost the head on this Hefeweizen. I'm going to re-pour it here. Oh, beautiful beer. Holy smokes. I'm going to smell it. Of course, I'm drinking with my eyes, and this one is just kind to the eyes there, right? Look at that delicious beer. Oh, yeah. I'm going to smell the beer. I actually just snuck a drink. Babe, I'm out of it tonight.
Don't worry.
What are you going to do? Nice day in Chicago. It's time to rock and roll. Then you're going to smell. You can do the short sniff, the short sniff, the long sniff, the drive-by. You can get after it any way you'd like. So I get in there, and then you're going to taste the beer. You're going to notice several things about kind of the flavors, that first impact as it touches on your tongue, that kind of the mouthfeel. And we're going to get into this actually a little bit more in depth tonight. And then the finish, and how can it finish, and all different aspects of that. So the DJ Shark said that's what she said. Good stuff.
Show 'em your tuxedo shirt.
Oh yeah, I also came dressed up tonight. One, it's the Derby. You want to be in the nice formal for the Derby, but big hats and whatnot. And then I figured new platform, hopefully higher quality, new shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good stuff there. So anyway, good stuff. Cheers to you. And I've got a second beer that I'm about to open, and then we're going to go into beer wars. And you're going to let me know what you think about both of them. So, nice thing about a Hefeweizen, beautiful, beautiful beer. The one thing it uses, so we have those 4 ingredients of beer: water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Okay? Hefeweizen adds wheat. It takes out some of that malted barley and adds wheat into the beer. When you add wheat into a beer, it adds kind of a sweetness and almost a little bit of a. It's just wonderful. It adds maybe a heavier mouthfeel a little bit as well, and a very unique flavor. So I love Hefeweizens. The other thing about Hefeweizens is they use a particular type of yeast that imparts banana and clove flavors. So it's really, really just a lovely beer and different. If you have a Hefeweizen, you might be like, do they add bananas or cloves in the brewing process? No, it's really the particular type of yeast that's used in the brewing process that pushes those flavors. So a lot of people, Hefeweizen's kind of one of those hate or love beers. People are like, I do not like those. And I'm like, do you like bananas? No, I hate bananas. There you go, right? You hate bananas, you're going to have a hard time liking Hefeweizens. And if you, or cloves, I suppose, as well. And then if you, and so it's a very, some people are like, yes, I love them. Some people hate them. A lot of people are okay, but it does tend to kind of, people who hate them. I love them. And they're great for a nice summer day. So cheers. That's a nice Hefeweizen. I was going to kindly request in a moment of complete, really summing up our production here, in just say, DJ Shark, do you mind getting me the laptop charger?
Yeah. Where is it?
I think it's in the office.
Okay.
DJ Shark is going on a little run for us. Otherwise, the stream is going to be over. I'm going to see if anybody was able to do comments. Yes. Okay. We have comments. Holy smokes, this is great. Sayowitz. All right. We're back. Okay. Oh my God. People made it in. James, good to see you, buddy. Sorry about the wedding. He's actually, pushing back his wedding, about that. So, sorry, I went very public with that fact, but, what can you do? I'll be there regardless. Whenever, you name it, I'm there. Lisa, good to see you. Glad you're doing well in Florida. I hope you guys are doing well. Pops, thank you. Yeah, bring back Clint Eastwood. We'll see what we can do. Sayowitz, you made it. This is awesome. What do we do? Just watch you. You got it. It's very simple. Grab a drink. Say some funny stuff in the comments. I'll read it. Ask me questions. Whatever you guys want. The more interactive, the better, to be completely honest. And I'm glad, Sayowitz, I'm glad you're drunk. That makes me happy. I hope you got to enjoy some of this beautiful weather here. Epod, I feel so bad I photobombed half of your wedding photos. I still carry that guilt with me to this day. In this shirt, actually. This shirt I think I've had for about 20 years. But hey. Banana, right about now. DJ Shark. Becky, good to see you. I know the Hawaiian shirt look. Don't worry, the Hawaiian shirt look will be back. The problem is a lot of the Hawaiian shirts are green, and now we actually have a green screen. There's a peek into, I don't know if you can see me destroy the illusion here. And so when I wear a green shirt, watch out. So thank you, DJ Shark. DJ Shark saved the day, as usual. Thank you, DJ Shark. Good, single. So it's not. Hey, by the way, if there's any single dudes on the stream here, please think about maybe going and going and talking to Sayowitz on the chat. I think she's ready to rumble, ready to mingle, single and ready to mingle. So we'll maybe have some connections that way. So good stuff. Best Michigan beer besides Two Hearted. Epod, that is a great question, a tough one. I mean, I'll be honest. If you're into hazies, the M43 out of Old Nation Brewing, which is right near the Flint area, is delicious. And I love it so much that I just think it's a fantastic beer. And I would have to think about that. I feel like Michigan breweries are also awesome. So you have plenty depending on kind of the style and what you're feeling. So there you go. Okay. Thank you for all those comments. Keep them coming. Ask questions. Talk shit. Just do whatever you want to do. Get wild in the comments. We'll come back to them, and we'll make this show fun and interactive. Oh, I got a note here. Happy birthday. We got a birthday alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Caitlin Nish Pearson, thanks for tuning in from Fire Island. All right, Molten Mold. When I first met Caitlin, I was nervous because I was meeting one of Stacy's good buddies, and we met in the West Loop, and she brought some of the best beer from the New York City area because she runs and owns a beer and cheese shop, which is a life goal for me. If you're in New York, check out Molten Mold. It is fantastic, and I mean beer and cheese go together like. What's the best things that go together?
Oh, well, peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Cheese and popcorn. Butter and popcorn.
Butter and popcorn.
You keep going. Come on. We're ready for more beer.
We're ready for more beer. Okay.
More beer.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in, Caitlin. Much appreciated. And that's good to know. So thank you, DJ Shark. Okay, for beer battle number 2, we are going to go with Off Color. And when it comes to off colors, Apex Predator. Apex Predator being the top predator of the food chain. And when it comes to kind of your Chicago Seminole beers, which someday I've thought of this for about 10 years now, I want to put together, or 5 years, 10 years, it would have been tough, but 5 years, a Seminole list of Chicago beers. Because there really are so many wonderful beers that, but there are some that you can find all the time, kind of the mainline players of these breweries. It's hard these days because a lot of people drink whatever's new, the hot style. I want my, what is it these days? The slushies, or, the IPA, yeah, obviously hazies and that sort of thing. So you're going to go and get what the hot, cool thing is. But breweries will still pump up kind of some of their just same styles. We've had beers like Domaine de Page, which I believe on the podcast, not podcast, on the show. We've had other things like that. This is definitely one of those, and this is based on, they call it a farmhouse ale because Off Color is legit. They take beer very seriously. They're one of my favorite breweries in Chicago. I just went and got all those wild ales that I talked about on the previous one, and I tell you what, they just brew some awesome stuff. I would say, really, they might hate me for this, but the yeasty beers, the Belgians, the farmhouse ales, that's really, they don't brew IPAs. So they're like, you want an IPA, don't come here. They brew a lot of other cool stuff. Off Color, meaning off kind of unique beers. And they brewed one based on the Peruvian style that, I'm going to forget the name of it, but the kind of the chicha, or some of those. It might have been like discovered 4,000 years ago, but it's very similar where it's old ladies that spit the corn juice in the thing, and then they ferment it, and then they sell it in a back alley. I actually bought it when I got a little high with a few locals at a brewery. Anyway, it's a long story, but and they nailed it. I mean, they nailed this damn thing. So they just do awesome stuff. This is the Saison. So I've got a nice Hop Leaf. Shout out to the Hop Leaf. Hop Leaf is one of the best beer bars in Chicago. If you're ever up in the north side, particularly Andersonville, check them out. And hope all I've met Michael Roper, who's just one of the seminal bar owners in Chicagoland and a true gentleman, and just has a lot of opinions, and most of them are right. He's just a really good guy. Also a Michigander native, although he's been here for obviously a long time. Hop Leaf is just a fantastic bar. So I'm using their glass. I'm going to put this Off Color beer into this Hop Leaf glass here. Oh, yeah. What are we going to do? Beer battle. We're going to look Look at that, beautiful. I mean, when you compare the two, not too dissimilar, really. When you think about it, it's not a coincidence on a hot day that I was thinking Hefeweizen and Saison at the same time when it really came to it. So awesome beer. I just love the style. Saison, French for season. So what would happen in these? We talked about it in the past a little bit too. The farmers, European farmers, they would harvest in the fall, summer, fall. They would take some of that and they would make beer with the grains and other ingredients. And they would make beer with that. And then what they would do is they would brew it over the winter and spring months so it was ready for the summertime. Sometimes they would cork it and it could be available for up to a year. So it's not like they had to drink it. They would take it and use it. But a lot of it was drank during the summer because during the summer you usually didn't want to brew because it was too hot to brew. So you wouldn't want to brew during that time. You would go there and you would so you'd brew during the winter and spring if you're a farmer, and then you'd have these farmhouse ales and not only that, beer throughout almost all of human history is safer to drink than water. So what do? You drink beer instead of water. Water was deadly. Really, for a long time, one of the reasons, of course, beer is the third most popular drink in the world, behind water and tea. There you go. So the farmers then would drink this. The Saisons, as they were originally styled, a lot of them were pretty low ABV. So we're talking 3.5% or so, and farmers might drink up to 5 liters of this a day as they plowed their fields and did their farming stuff. Obviously you can tell I'm a diehard farming stuff, babe. DJ Shark's not impressed with my outdoor abilities. And so they're out there, they're farming, they're drinking their Saisons, and they are able to stay hydrated, also add some nutrition to the diet as well. So great stuff. The thing about the Belgian Saisons is they add spices like coriander or orange peel to their beer. And they really, so it adds a pretty unique flavor. They also, I would say, tend to be a little yeastier than other beers, particular types of yeasts that are used and that impart particular types of qualities. I almost think there's a cloying quality to Saisons. A love-hate beer, whenever there's people on the tours that are like, I do not like beer, but I love wine. I love wine. I do not like beer. It happens. And I get it. I'm always like, drink some Saisons. I think Saisons, there's a lot of different entry points into beer, but a Saison entry point is an easy one. They tend to be, the hops tend to be real low profile for these. They tend to be sweeter and almost, in my opinion, somewhat wine-like in their flavors. So just delicious beers and a great entry point for your wine drinkers. They're like, I do not like beer. I get it, but let me try. I'm going to convince you. So cheers. We're going to, we want the color. We're going to do the smell. I'm just getting right in there. Oh, I can already smell that wonderful, the wonderful spices and the wonderful, the yeast and everything. Oh my God. I mean, Apex Predator is one of the best beers in Chicago. It is a seminal beer. It is so flippin' good. So here we go. We have our beer war. The first one on the beer opinion. Sorry, the shout out to Pat Berger. On the first one on the Beers with Bruce, we've got our Hefeweizen. We've got our Saison. What style do you prefer? Banana clove, orange peel clove. Very similar, sort of. And what are you going to do? Beer battle. Shout it out in the comments. If you have a particular favorite style, let me know. And if you have thoughts strong one way or another, and we'll go from there. So, all right, cool. I'm going to take a look. Did we get any comments?
Yeah, we did. They want you to wear a green shirt so that you're floating head drinking beer. So
okay.
I can dance while you change into a shirt.
Well, go ahead and, you know what? I think this is a good chance. Is this a good time for a Malort break?
called some more Lord. Yeah, but I'm scared to play the music because last time. I
Yeah,
think that's
we
when
got
they
hammered.
up.
Yeah, we got hammered by the copyright police. So annoying. Share your stuff. I'm kidding, artists. I'm kidding. I get it. But we have a free music, but YouTube probably has algorithms that are just like, bam. We think that's something. So should we just sing? No, I'm kidding. Here, just hand me a shirt. I'll throw it on right here. I don't even need to leave.
Okay.
Actually, hand me that one.
Which one?
This one right here, because I think I threw this on and it worked pretty well. Let's see if I can just be a floating head. Okay. Or do you want to dance, babe?
Well, let's see if this works. And then, and you're gonna have to make your neck, bring it up.
Hold on, and I'm going to adjust the settings. I think I can make this work. Hold on. Don't worry. I don't know if I can do this.
Oh, yep, you are disappeared.
Am I completely disappeared?
It's
Is that better?
hold please.
Okay, hold on. Watch this.
It's a good effort.
Did it go? Did it go? Do you see the flap? Did you see it change?
It's a great effort. For our first try on YouTube,
Whoa!
you very much look like a floating head. Drink beer while you're
I'm the ghost.
Floating head.
I am the ghost of Bruce.
It's working. This is
Woo!
great. It worked. Fantastic. This is what suggestions are for.
Woo! This is why the comments are important. This is why you should tune in every week to Beers with Bruce.
You gotta just fix your collar.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah. Ghost Bruce. But Ghost Bruce is a hit.
Woo! Yeah. Okay, watch this, babe. Watch this. Whoa!
But you have to be drinking beer. That's the whole point. Is the head drinking beer.
Whoa!
Man, it's so good that this is free because no one would pay to watch.
Yeah. We're gonna charge you guys.
You would get.
I'd have to pay people to.
Subscribers.
I'd have to pay people to watch. I screwed this up. I screwed up my head thing.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, everybody. Now it's gonna take me some time to get me back to normal size here.
And Liz and Meredith are on as well.
All right. Hi, Liz and Meredith. Thank you for joining.
Yes, hello. Oh, it's spectacular.
All right. Okay. Let's see if this worked. Did that work pretty well?
Oh, it worked awesome. Yep.
Okay. Now I gotta fix this back. We're just gonna do live production stuff all the time. That's the goal. Okay. Let's see if I can come back. It's like Back to the Future. You know what I mean? When it's like, when I come back, it's Back to the Future. My parents are still divorced, but
Oh, man. That's
there we go. Yeah. I'm back. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. I'm gonna see what's going on with everybody. Go ahead, shout it out in the comments. Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry. I'm going back to. I'm going back. Okay. Awesome. Sayowitz, just drop your number in there, and I'm sure people will send. Aaron, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Awesome. My dad doesn't want a slushy beer. Off Color does have cute labels. They have like an awesome artist, and yeah. So my grandbeard. These comments are great. You guys, Sayowitz, you're funny tonight. Thank you for being there. Okay, we got 1 vote for Hefeweizen, 1 vote for Saison, and a lot of kind of punts. So
it's a tie.
It's a tie.
How Midwestern.
Okay, I might have a nightmare. That's the goal. The goal is to have nightmares. Okay, I'm gonna try something. So we talked about. I'm gonna get into some Chicago stories, but first I'm going to see if this works. I do want to talk, we talk about look. Whoa, I spilled beer on the laptop. Look, smell, taste. But I did want to talk a little bit about judging, and I have now visual aids. So I'm going to see if this works here. Let's see if this works. Nope, that wasn't it. Sorry, everybody. Pardon me. There we go. Beer judging sheet. Cool, right? See if that works on your end.
It's on a delay, so it will.
Yeah. So it's really, if you ever judge a beer competition, you're going to be like, what's going on here? People take it really seriously because if you win a competition as a brewery, it can actually boost your sales. You can put on the label, hey, we won a gold medal or a bronze medal or a silver medal at whatever. And I mentioned, I think in the past, the Festival of Barrel-Aged Beer, that's a big one here in Chicago. They have the Great American Beer Festival every year, which is in Denver. That's kind of the seminal one that's held in the United States. They also have Taste of the Midwest, which is up in Milwaukee, the big one in the Midwest. But there's beer festivals all around the world, and brewers compete. So they send people, they send their kegs of beer, they send people out, they go out and they try to compete. So they take it seriously. They spend a lot of time and money to do so. So, of course, if you're judging the beers, it's only fair that you take a lot of time and attention to judge the beers as well. Personally, I've had a lot of hard time judging beer because I thought, oh my God, if I've drank beer for 20 years, I've got to be good at judging it. Like, no problem, right? Most of the time it's like, yeah, I like this. Somebody once said, do you know what my first favorite beer is? And I said, what? And they said, a free beer. And then I was like, you know what my second favorite beer is? What? A cold beer, right? Like, I mean, and then there was another one that I forgot. But basically the idea is, we drink beer, we appreciate beer, we think about it, we hold it up to light, we smell it, we taste it. But how would you actually judge it? So I wanted to spend a little time tonight, and I actually have here a great book. This is my favorite book for beer of all time. It's Tasting Beer. Randy Mosher, who's a Chicagoan, he came out with the second edition of this just last year. It's a wonderful book. Most beer books are either too shallow, and so you're like, yeah, I know, or I didn't really gain a lot, or way too deep, in my opinion, as a expert novice or amateur enthusiast, however you want to describe me. I'm not a professional when it comes to this stuff. So this beer, wonderful, Randy Mosher, Tasting Beer, highly recommend it. And he gets into it, and he kind of will describe it. So we actually have a class. Now it's online. You can get it virtually. Little plug there. Chicago Beer Experience Beer Tours, where we kind of go into this a little bit. I've tried to go into this a lot during some of these classes, and it turns out most of the time people's eyes glaze over. Because what do you want to do when you're drinking beer? You want to chat. You want to have fun. You don't necessarily want to judge it a hardcore way with unsalted crackers, waters, not a lot of talking. Take it seriously. So I do want to talk about this a little bit. The key thing is to get the vocabulary down. So I'm just kind of drawing this up. These are some words that are really common in terms of how to talk about beers. Let me do my weatherman here. Isn't this technology wild? So, you'll see that a lot of these are driven from barley or hops, which makes sense because those are really the main flavor drivers when it comes to beer. Water can add some. You'll see mineral, sulfur, and yeast can certainly add flavors. We talked about banana, for example, right there with that Hefeweizen. Alcohol adds, particular qualities to beer. And then getting that down is really, really difficult. You almost have to train your brain and really kind of understand how to do this. You have to just keep working on that vocabulary to capture those senses. Randy Mosher, who I think does an amazing job, he says, some of the times what I do is I close my eyes and I imagine a memory. So for him, he gives the example of like cookies from childhood, oatmeal cookies, something like that where, grandma's pulling them hot out of the oven and you're tasting them. Maybe there's a beer or some type of oatmeal stout or something that kind of harkens that memory back that you can express when you're describing beers. And then I have it, for example, right here. If you look at how a beer would be judged, this is not one of the beers we've had, but this is a Flywheel Pils, which is a great beer from Metropolitan. You can see appearance, aroma, kind of, what do we look at it, we smell it, and then we taste it. That's really what I've done here. And then you'll see and if you ever go to like beeradvocate.com, ratebeer.com I think is gone, but it used to be another one, untapped.com. They'll have some people that kind of try to describe their experience when they're tasting beer. So really, really neat thing. For me, I'm still trying to really wrap my head around it, but I think it's a neat exercise. And if you're ever really interested, you can go down. The Beer Judge Certification Program is free online, and you can really dive down. And then we have Cicerone, which started here in Chicago. It's a Chicago-based company that is really trying to kind of become the sommelier, if you will, of the beer world. So really, really neat stuff. And I think they're all great in their own reasons, but you can kind of do a deep dive when you go down. If I had to describe these, obviously the Hefeweizen, I'm going to, think of kind of the wonderful straw. I'm going to say like a straw color, maybe a little deeper. See, I'm not very good. I actually have a tough time. I'm not going to lie when it comes down to this. Obviously, banana and clove notes. For me, this beer has a medium body. It's light on the finish, and I would say it's relatively light in general. It doesn't have a tremendous a weight to it in a good way. Again, none of these. Sometimes these qualities are not necessarily bad or good. They just are what they are, and then you'll find that there are kind of standard qualities within styles that people really think are the best over time. And then, of course, brewers are going and making new stuff up all the time, too. So pretty neat stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit here as we go back to our beer. Okay. You know what I think it's time for? Malort break! Malort break!
With no music.
Yeah, no music because we might get it pulled down from copyright. Sorry, Liquid, we loved your music. I got to figure out how to do this next time. We have these two little guys that you can buy now. Cool little airline bottles. Yes, but we're going to not waste those tonight. We're going to do real ones. Boom, boom. DJ Shark! DJ Shark! Okay. We're going to go back to, Malort break! Malort.
Oh, gross. You get the real bottle?
Yeah, I got the real bottle.
Ugh.
Okay. Malort break! Boop, beep, 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 beep,
I can't really get my moves down as well without my blue. Could you put my blue-green screen back on?
Oh, yeah.
Could you put my C back on?
Okay, here we go. Although that might have got us taken down, too.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't do it then. Don't do it. Maybe that background wasn't approved. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's safe and well and didn't get too sunburned out there today in Chicago. Okay, we're ready.
Here, I'll give you a little guy.
Oh. All
Yeah,
right.
all right.
Cheers.
All right. Hey, Malort break! Oh, God. That one hit me hard. Woo! Woo! Yes! Woo! I hope at home you're getting your Malort on or whatever liquor you have. Let's see what the comments say. Woo! Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm going to look at the comments real quick, just see if there's anything new going on. I hope you guys are doing well. Not a ton. Say what's dropped her her number for anybody who wants to, All right. Liz, have you thought about interviewing folks? Yes. I tried to do that during YouTube Live and couldn't figure out the tech to do, apparently they used to make it really easy and then didn't. Just decided not to do it, so I don't know what happened. But I'm going to see if maybe YouTube, there's an easy way where I can bring somebody in for an interview. Obviously, it's hard today with social distancing to be able to do it in person. So, but yeah, absolutely. Would love to. I really want to get my folks on here at some point and go from there. So yeah. So good question. We're definitely in the thing. Cute Malort for when you're on a plane. Absolutely, EPOD. Definitely for when we're on a plane. You got it. You've got this. Okay? All right. So real quick, I do want to get into a little history here that we have. We talked a lot about beer. We talked about judging beer. We talked about our beer battle tonight, which was a tie by the votes online. I wanted to talk a little bit about beer history. So in Chicago, what do you guys think when it comes to Chicago in 1871? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'm going to wait 1871, and we'll see what you guys come up with here. These are the 1871, a huge event in Chicago's history. Okay, I'm going to see if anybody posts anything. Is anybody say anything? DJ Shark, are you getting any good insights?
No.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys. It was the Chicago Fire, and as as part of the fire was a tremendously destructive event in Chicago's history. They actually burned 15,000 structures, displaced 100,000 people, including out of 320,000 in our population. So absolutely crazy. And they actually, it destroyed 19 of our biggest breweries here in Chicago. So a lot of the beer capacity was out. And basically, as the legend grows, the Schlitz, which was based up in Milwaukee, Chicago was already a pretty big market for them, decided to load up a bunch of their beer on a refrigerated rail car and send it down to Chicago. And as the legend goes, as the flames were being extinguished, this cold Schlitz beer arrived to quench the thirst of these Chicagoans that had gone through this tremendously destructive event. So everybody was like, yes, Schlitz, we love you, Schlitz. Schlitz became the brewery for decades here in Chicago, one of the most beloved breweries, and Chicago became by far their most important market. So they actually had tied houses here. Tied houses before Prohibition, the tied houses were the breweries would own the bars outright. I'm actually reading a book here, really, really interesting about saloons and bars here in both Chicago and Boston between 1880 and 1920. And basically what happened is all this competition started happening. So brewers were like, we need to vertically integrate to own all the different sources. So, and they would buy these bars, and they would either give loans to bartenders to say, hey, why don't you open up a bar? You seem like a good upstart person. Go there and we'll fund you. We'll let it happen. And then if the person didn't perform, they'd just yank the bar away from them and give them to somebody else. Or they would buy them outright and then, put their own people in. And then, if you went to a Schlitz bar, guess what? You're getting Schlitz beer. You're not getting PBR. You're not getting any other beers at the time. You're only getting Schlitz. So there are now, there were at the time over 50 Schlitz bars in the Chicagoland area. And now there are 9 different ones. Both Southport Lanes and Schuba's, if you're familiar with Chicago, are old Schlitz, were Schlitz tied houses. And you can actually see the little Schlitz logo in the building in both of those places that kind of calls attention to that. Pretty neat stuff. Tied houses became illegal after Prohibition. I actually think it's probably a good thing that they don't allow tied houses, because otherwise we'd all be drinking in like Anheuser-Busch or Miller Coors houses, and this craft beer scene would have had an even harder time getting going here in the United States. If you ever go to London or the UK, and I'm not picking on them, but they do not have laws against vertically integrating, so they allow tied houses over there. And so they have breweries there that will own thousands of bars, and then you'll go in and they'll be all kind of the same. So I like the fact that we have independently owned bars here that are able to choose as they will from whatever breweries they would like. It really has been, I think, one of the reasons behind our craft beer boom in that sense. So good stuff there. Wanted to share that little story for Schlitz. Folks, I think this is it for tonight. Thank you for hanging with us on this new platform. We'll try to get better. How did it go? Drop us a note in the comments. I'm curious. We can always go back to Facebook. We don't have to stay here, but I just wanted to try it because I think the technology is a little better and that, it could be a more promising future for us as we figure things out, especially with these cool green screens where we can go, whoa, all around. The tech quite isn't there on the Facebook. So let me know what you think. I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and we will talk to you soon. And we'll figure out the music somehow.
Well, I think since it could cut it anyways, I'll play
it and let's see it. It might cut out, but we're going to try to dance it out with our Liquid. Shout out to Liquid. Should be free. We'll drop them a note and copyright.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye. Oh wait, could you try my seed? Can you try and give me an ocean? Then I can bring my fish back.
I don't remember which one it was. I just don't want to make a mistake.
Oh, look at this fish is like see-through.
Nope. Nope. There it is.
There it is. Now I get my whole tank. Good night.
Keep dancing. Keep dancing.
No.
That's where we're at in quarantine life.
Oh, it's green screen. Oh. Okay. Good night.
Good night, everybody.